So I'm going to try something a little bit different today. I've been wanting to make longer videos, and I think the way for me to do that is to kind of go away from the bullet point format that I have, that like high energy. It's like, oh, I gotta say this, I gotta say that, I gotta say that, and just kind of let myself go into the weeds for a topic. And today, I want to talk about the Grammys. You're probably not surprised at all that I did not watch the fucking Grammys. I really don't give a shit about the Grammys. Uh, Maybe I should turn my phone off before I do this. um, yeah, like I don't know. It's not like it's not one of those things where it's like, oh, I only listen to underground music. Fuck the mainstream. Blah, blah, blah. It's not that shit. It's just I don't see what's so entertaining about that or any fucking awards show. Like, it's just the idea of, like, sitting around and watching other people win shit. I mean, I watch game shows, but you kind of see the process there, but, like, you just see on the Grammys or the Oscars other people being awarded for shit that you're not watching right now. I don't get the appeal of that. Maybe it's because I'm, like, a kind of a fucking dick, and I don't have the capacity to feel happy for others. I don't know, but regardless, I don't give a shit about the Grammys. Like, even if one day I had a Grammy nomination for some fucking reason, I would be excited to try and win, but at the same time, I'd be like, fuck, now I gotta sit through the fucking Grammys. So I don't really watch that shit, but you can't avoid it. I'm not one of those people that ever really wants to unplug from social media, and if you're on Facebook, you're on Twitter, everybody's posting it, and what I do like about it is that everyone's posting about the big fucking disasters, like that awful Metallica Lady Gaga situation. Alright, like, we've been being inundated with these articles for fucking weeks about how, oh, Lady Gaga listens to metal, like, digging up old articles from 2015. To me, it made the whole fucking Metallica Lady Gaga performance feel so fucking contrived. Like, it was fucking marketing for weeks. Oh, Lady Gaga listens to metal, blah, 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 blah. And it's always in, like, the most shallow, superficial ways. Like, I'm sure she really listens to metal, but it's always printed as like, oh, yeah, she likes Metallica. She likes Iron Maiden. You ever heard of a little band called Iron Maiden? Lady Gaga wants to be the next Iron Maiden. It's like one of those fucking people, like, they act like they're a fucking hardcore gamer or something, and they only know Zelda and fucking Mario. And I know that sounds like elitist as fuck, and I'm sure if I actually, like, chilled with Lady Gaga, don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to fucking hate on Lady Gaga, I actually really like her music. Maybe, like, not so much as if she's gonna be trying to be a metal artist, but in terms of pop music, there may not be anyone right now who does it better than she does it. I wanted watching that fucking, that performance that they did of that, what's that song? Moth to Flames. With James Hetfield's fucking mic turned off. I guess they're not used to having people actually perform live at the Grammys, not to a fucking track. Holy shit, the first thing that, like, kind of got my attention were those fucking dancers on stage, the fucking extras, and it just to look at it, it makes you fucking cringe, but then as a person who does a lot of background acting work as an extra, with, like, the way I looked, I've been hired for those kinds of jobs in the past where they want you to be a concert goer, they want you to rock out at the show, but the thing about those, I can't even hate on those extras that they had, because when they have you do these kinds of performances, they don't want you to act the way people actually act at shows. They want you to act they want you to rock out. They want you to act in the way that people who don't go to shows think people who go to shows act. Like, like, if one time my friend was dating this fucking girl who was totally not into metal, and, like, one day he brought her to her show, and then she shows up to this fucking thing, like, looking like she's in some Marilyn Manson goth costume or something. Like, she walked out of fucking Guitar Hero. Like, that's the kind of perception they want to express when they hire you for those roles. So I can't hate on that. But Jesus Christ, it was so fucking awkward to watch that going on the whole fucking set, and then to see Lady Gaga come out of that fucking crowd and do her terrible, terrible fucking metal impression. I like you, Lady Gaga, but come on, that fucking sucked. It's kind of fucked up too, Lady Gaga, how, like, I remember now I'm on this Lady Gaga train of thought, thinking back to the fucking Super Bowl. How people wanted to throw her under the bus because she didn't do anything political. And this is, after months of like people arguing, oh, you got to use your platform to, bring issues to the light, and other people getting fucking annoyed that, oh, these celebrities need to fucking shut up. I mean, whatever side you're on, it's whatever. But to like attack her for not doing enough, and I've been seeing a lot of that, where it's not enough now to care about issues. You got to be like the one who cares the fucking most. Like, at that point, is it even really about fucking issues, or is it about a fucking pissing contest? Is it a fucking fashion statement where you're the social justice person? And that's what happens now. The people who, like, they're not winning the social justice game. They're getting thrown under the bus. I'm constantly seeing people complain about white feminists not doing enough now, and I see people shitting on white gay men. It's like, this is what I've said this a million times before. Like, nobody fucking wins the oppression Olympics. I'm sure after they're done with the white feminists and the white gay people and all those people aren't good enough anymore, I'm sure the fucking Asians are next. But yeah, going back on track to the fucking Grammys, what was the name of that fucking band that won the rock album? Like, obviously, like, I would have went with Gojira. The Gojira album that came out last year is probably one of my favorite albums. Like, even now, not my favorite albums all the time, but, my favorite albums that came out that year. Even now, like, I'm thinking about that fucking one riff that they had. It was so fucking sick. I'm not gonna sing out a fucking riff for you on this, this video that I almost was gonna call it a podcast, but I didn't want to commit to sitting here for a fucking hour or however the fuck long. But let me look up what that fucking band was called. Holy shit. You see, what I like about doing this kind of fucking video, my original idea from the channel was just to kind of do something like what Bill Burr does with his Monday morning podcast, but at the same time, I was thinking, who the fuck's gonna sit around and, like, watch this guy? Bill Burr's a famous comedian, in my opinion, one of the best out right now. I am not anything close to that. I'm just some dude who maybe some people know me from playing music. Most of you know me from being an asshole on fucking Facebook or whatever the fuck, but, I don't have that kind of a platform, so I would use games and stuff as kind of, a MacGuffin to get your foot in the door. But anyway, the band I'm thinking about, they're called Cage the Elephant. Which it sounds like it might be like a cool name or whatever, but I was like, this band won the best rock album, so let me see what the kids are listening to. And holy shit, that band is fucking trash. They're at least the songs I saw. Granted, I didn't sit down and listen to their entire fucking discography, but holy shit, it sounds like the most generic fucking what's the word? What's the good word for what I'm looking for? Like, non-threatening, they sound like car commercial music. The first song I listened to, it had that, whoa, like one of those kinds of fucking parts. I'm like, oh, here we go. With the hipster rock music. Everybody dressing up like fucking Frog and Toad. I was never a big fucking rock music guy. It was like, always into, like, the more extreme forms, like metal, or fucking punk, or whatever the fuck. But, something about, like, just, like, plain, like, middle-of-the-road rock music has always been kind of corny to me. And there's no one more in the middle of the road, as far as I can tell, in that fucking band that won. But that's what the Grammys are for, I guess. Like, I don't understand why even people who aren't in, like, the mainstream, I see my friends that are, like, would be the kinds of metal elitists that I was talking about earlier. Those kinds of people, like, they have interest in it. I don't understand it, because I feel like the Grammys, that's a show it's directed at people whose only normal exposure to music is when they're shopping at fucking JCPenney or whatever the fuck. It's not for people who are big into any kind of music. Especially now when everything is just less curated than it used to be. Like, it used to be the radio was the main source of how you're going to hear shit. That was just a limitation of the technology. Now I can go on. I subscribe to YouTube Red because I like YouTube music, and it has such a fucking endless fucking catalog. You could never listen to all the different kinds of music they have on there. There's so much shit on there that it's a struggle to even grasp the pure breadth of what's out there. I could fucking Fucking vaporwave. What the fuck is vaporwave? That would never be a fucking thing until fucking now. I fucking love vaporwave, by the way. Unironically. Doing a one-man show here. Like, carrying this shit like fucking Joey Styles. Or I guess like the fucking Bill Burr podcast, like I mentioned. It's like, I'm not doing so bad. I was gonna... Alright. Here's what I was going to do. I was going to call this, when I was thinking about calling it a podcast, last night, you know, because that's how much I prepare for things. I was going to call the podcast Extended Wang, you know, because, like, this channel can never get away from the dick jokes. It was originally called Let's Play with Wang, but now it's just Wang, because I don't do that much Let's Plays anymore. But once again, taking myself out of the fucking weeds and going back on track with this subject, Kanye. Kanye didn't go to the Grammys, and it's funny because when I was thinking about the Grammys, I started to talk about it. I didn't see anybody thinking about talking about Kanye, and I was like, man, it was one of those like unconscious thoughts. Even like I wasn't like thinking too deeply about it. I was just like, man, like are the Grammys a big enough deal that Kanye would go? And it's kind of ridiculous. Like, as my friend Jerry, who like he plays guitar in fucking Jinx, he was like, I don't know that it's that, because Kanye brags about his 21 Grammys all the time, and I'm thinking like, yeah, but I feel like at this point he is a bigger deal than that music show. That like the Grammys, Kanye shouldn't be bragging about having 21 Grammys. The Grammys should brag about having given Kanye 21 Grammys. It's just garbage fucking show. Like, I try not to shit on people too much for what they like, because I like a lot of stupid shit. I mean, like I mentioned before, I like vaporwave. Have you sat down and listened to it who don't know what that is, want to go take a look at what I'm wasting my time listening to, you'll be like, yo, what the fuck's wrong with this guy? You know, like, I'm not one of those... I used to be one of those guys who would shit on people for watching sports. Oh, sports are so dumb, but I'm like... You gotta take a step look. You gotta take a step back and look at what you're doing with your own fucking life. That kind of gives you the authority to make you the arbiter on what is and isn't an acceptable form of entertainment. But award shows are just something I kind of don't fucking get. Anyway, I guess because I feel like it's more podcasty, this vibe of this fucking video, I can just be like, yeah, so like, subscribe, comment. Actually, I really would like to hear your comments on how you like this longer format of video for me. But, yeah, until next time, everybody get fucked.